Hello everyone, this is Dr. Swapnil Chandratri here. Many of the aspirants who are planning to come to Germany or are in the practice to come to Germany, they are either taking the help of any random agency or they are doing it on their own. In both of the scenario, when you land in Germany, then comes your struggle because you don't know what is happening here, what is to be expected. And during that time, what happens is that everyone start asking any people, any friends or any former colleagues who have done that process. And sometimes, they get the right information, sometimes they don't. Some people give them wrong information and that makes them anxious and that makes them sometimes demotivated. So it is very important to know that what is the right step to follow and what should we do and what should we not forget. In this video, I'll draw you a roadmap based on my personal experience that what you should do after landing in Germany step by step. In the beginning, I'll tell you all the steps which to follow, and then in the end, I'll tell you my wings, pointers to expect. You don't get shocked, these things are happening. Please watch the video till the end so you don't miss out on some important information. Step 1 is to find accommodation. 60% of the time, students find that accommodation when they are in their home country before coming to Germany. That is ideally the best advisable solution, because when you come here, it's better that you have your address. You go directly there and then go further. Sometimes what happens is that there are many scams are happening, especially in the big cities, that you see some rooms or apartments on the website. You book them, you pay them to get this confirmation. When you come here, there is no such thing like that. To avoid such kind of scenario, and if you don't have anyone in Germany who can go personally there and visit and check that whether that accommodation is available or not, in that scenario, what you can do is that most of the time, these academies where you are coming to learn B2 FST KP, in those academy have their own accommodation service if they are the big institute. But if they don't have their accommodation, you can book any hotel or Airbnb for a 1 month time. You come here, you look around, you see all this accommodation by yourself and then decide whether to book that or not. Institute accommodations and all those are there, but they are very costly compared to what you can find on regularly on their own. But at least you will have a backup in terms of accommodation if the institutes are providing, and if you don't find anything. That is the first thing you need to understand. Second step comes is the city registration. City registration is very important. Why? I have made the detailed video regarding it. Please check that out. The link will come here. The city registration, why it is important? It is the very important step to activate your block account. How you activate your block account? You need first a bank account. And to have a bank account, you need a city registration. That will go like that you do city registration, then open your bank account and then activate your block account. So in that scenario, then only the money of the block account will come to your bank account and it will be very usable for you that you can use during your journey. That's the important step. During booking of the accommodation, this thing is very important that you see that this accommodation is providing you the opportunity or providing you the document for city registration. There are many biggies which are showing that they have an empty place, but you need to check whether they are providing you this city registration or not. These big institutes accommodation, they provide you most of the time this city registration possibilities. The hotels and all that will not. In that scenario, you need to keep in mind that if you are booking a hotel for a month or something, Airbnb, something like that, you check that whether the city registration is possible or not. Otherwise, you need to carry some amount of cash to survive during this time. This is the second step you need to do after finding or coming into your accommodation. Step number 3 comes is then to joining your classes. The ideal way is to learn B2 onwards from Germany, that I have discussed in my former videos, but there are many students who are coming directly to learn from FST. They have done B2 in their home country. In that scenario, what you do is that once all these things are done regarding accommodation, city registration, activation of the bank account and all that, you slowly get settled in the country and you start joining your classes. The dates will be already there because that is required for the invitation letter. Your classes will be started. Most of the time these classes are either in the morning schedule or in the evening schedule. You need to check out what is the schedule of the class. It will be mostly 3 to 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. So rest of the day will be with you. So it will depend on you that how you use that rest of the day. In the classes, those are just tuition classes. Don't expect too much that it will be like Cambridge level of study. The job of the classes is only to study and show you that what is happening here. Get the study material, find a good partners to practice. So that is the goal of the classes. The rest of the day you need to use by yourself. So that scenario, what you can do is that you will get a part-time job permit. With the recognition visa, you get nowadays 20 hours a week part-time job. What you can do is you can do the part-time job also. With that, your language practice is happening. That will help you to improve your language, and more you speak, the better you learn the language. That is the best way to study for the FSP exam. Also, that is the third step you do. You join your classes regularly. Rest of the day, you can manage your planning that what you want to do. The fourth and most important step here is to find the hospitation. Now you need to understand, again, as I said, the classes are just a classes, exams and classes and all those things will do its work. But our goal should always be to land a job, to find a hospitation. That should be our goal. This goal, go further away from your goal, stick to your goal. What you do is that how you can find a hospitation. Hospitation is always an unpaid thing. If you apply on the clinic in terms of job as a dental assistant or something like that, that means that you have applied for the job. In that scenario, the employer has to pay you. If they don't have any good candidates, they will give you the place. But if they have a better candidate or they don't have any vacancies, then they will not. In hospitation, it's the other way around. In hospitation, there is unpaid fee. You are just there to observe. You just talk with them. You just see what is happening, how the dentistry works here, what is the system here, and how the doctors work here. Those are the things you see in the hospitation. When you apply for the hospitation, when you apply for it, you need to write down that thing that you want to apply for the hospitation, which is unpaid. You don't want any salary. You just want to observe. In that scenario, it will open up the lot of opportunity for you. When you have your accommodation, open the Google Maps, write down your address. In the Google Map, you can search nearby dental clinics. There will be the hundreds of dental clinics will open up. You need to open all the websites one by one and apply on every clinic. Start applying nearby first and then slowly expand your search. You need to apply more than 100, 200 places. You don't just apply on 1 or 2 places and you don't get it and get nervous. Don't do that. You just need to keep on applying. I hope that someone gets ready to give you this position. Once you get this position, you start hospitation. It is very important that you decide that thing to do during your classes. Half day will be your classes and half day you can do the hospitation. That is the ideal way to prepare for the FSP exam. And as I said, those who want to do this part-time job, you can do on weekends. This is the way you can manage your schedule during the preparation for the FSP, which I have also mentioned in how to prepare for the FSP video. If you haven't checked it out, please check it. The link will come here. Fifth and the final step is for the applying for the FSP exam. Generally, the most of the states have the requirement of B2 language certificate for applying for the FSP exam. When you have this B2 certificate ready, you can ideally apply for the FSP exam. But you also will require the city registration, because that will ensure, or that is like a proof that you are already in Germany. With that city registration, your certificates and your B2 certificate, you apply for the FSP exam to the council. You first talk with your Anspreche partner with this thing, submit all the documents, and they will send your file to dental council, and from there they will contact you for the FSP exam dates. You need to pay then the FSP exam fee, which will be around 400 to 700 euros, depending upon which state you are. When you pay the fees, you will be put in the waiting list. It depends on state to state and also demand and supply. Right now, it is in the range of 3 to 6 months. What you can do is that when you are done with your B2 classes, you can directly apply for the FSP exam. During that time, this waiting time, you can use to learn this FSP course. When these exams dates are available, they will contact you via email. You keep on checking your email. That is very important. Generally, they contact you before 2 weeks and 3 weeks or a month. It depends on the state to state. But generally, you need to be ready in terms of the giving the exam. Once you have this date, then you go there and you appear for the FSP exam. This is the roadmap you need to follow, that how to apply for the FSP exam and what to do before the FSP exam. What to do after FSP exam, for that I'll make a separate video in detail. That roadmap I'll discuss in the next video, but these are the steps you need to follow. Now coming to the pointers which I wanted to tell you, there are 2 important things you need to know. Those who are already in the process, they already know that the process time in Germany is very much here. Everything is bureaucratic. Take so much of time. So when you apply for the FSP exam, anything, You just need to wait longer. They might not contact you for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months or something like that. Don't just get panic. Here people take their own time. They will reply you sometimes very late also. Don't be frustrated with that. And second thing is that when you apply for the hospitation, I have already told you that apply so many places, apply in hundreds of clinics. Don't just apply on 2-3 clinics, because see here 90% of the doctors will not reply you back only. Positive or negative, they don't reply you. Only 10% of the doctors will reply you with the positive or negative thing. 90% will not reply to you. Don't get discouraged with that. That's a common thing here. These are the things you can keep in mind. You don't get surprised that when you are here that what is happening. I hope that I have drawn a good roadmap for you and you will not have too much of problem. If you have more queries regarding how to execute the process and what to do, what not to do, you can contact me. The link is in the description box. Till then, have a nice day.